Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daik, multilinguistic international coach from DCT Center. Also, I'm true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, co-creator, galactic ambassador from Pleiadians. And with me is again two wonderful, beautiful ladies. Morganne Rayne, who is spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to high dimensions of being. Morganne has been called the healer of healers as a way to describe the unique spiritual tools she shares. Morganne is here to serve those who seek great understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have deep desire to integrate the consciousness in their 3D world. And third lady is beautiful Jeannie, and she is saying about herself, I am lifetime student of growth. I continually take classes to enhance my knowledge base. At the present, I am studying internal family systems, IFS. So, ladies, hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
good. We had massive wind and rainstorms. I don't, what'd you get down there, Jeannie? We got power out. I had no power for a day and a
Mm.
half. No, nothing. Which I loved. It
Yeah.
was, it was total silence. Well, except for the wind, but when the wind would stop, it's like what it's like in our world with no electrical input like that. It was wonderful. And I felt like it gave my body tempo a time to just chill, just like come to a, um, what's that state? Is that homeostasis when it's like in that just, I needed that too, to just be in nature, just be in the quietude. It was great, and it's interesting because now that everything's back on, I can more palpably feel the energies of like the computer or even my cell phone. It's like I can barely hold my cell phone anymore because I can feel it, and it feels hot, and I don't like it. So I don't know. I guess I'll reintegrate back into the electrical world, but you know, there it is.
Yeah. I love the wind because I stand out there and just let everything go from
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
energy.
yeah.
So
I did the same thing. I just went out and just blow it away as
yeah.
everything was coming apart. We had so many down trees. Did you have down trees over by you too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a lot of
yeah. It was a
branches.
crazy storm, but
Yeah.
here we are. We're back.
Yeah. And it's beautiful to have that every once in a while too,
Yeah, yeah.
In
just
in Latvia, I had pictures of floods where filmed videos where driver is asking, then you take this how they call roars.
rowboat
When,
rowboats.
yeah, do you have
Oars,
those
oars.
things for cars? Yeah,
Uh
because really need with boat. You can see you going by literally lake, huge
Mhm,
lake, and cars just
mhm.
moving. And in some parts again hailstones with like stones literally.
Yep,
and
yep,
that's in England.
Latvia.
Okay.
In
yeah,
Latvia, in England at the moment, I didn't hear anything like that. Like
yeah. And
that.
then what I love the most is after it's all over, the sky was the most magnificent blue. Oh my, it was so beautiful. Everything clean and clear, and that blue, I just wanted to bask in that blue forever.
Yeah.
Um,
The
and
sunset was
now
beautiful. So
I woke up this morning and I saw the CHEM trails all over the place. I went, oh, you now it's all. hazy. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. So,
I still hope that already White Hats is dealing with that to clean everything. I do really hope with that.
yeah, I do too. It's like it's hard to know what's going on, but it's like it's so interesting to watch how different people face the storm, right? So in my community, I get to kind of watch it up close and personal. Right here, I'm out standing in it, and letting it blow away, and all excited, And there are people who are scared. It's like, what are you scared of? It's like it's just interesting to watch how people face their lives, their storms, their the weather. Um, so
It's
um,
so one of those things. What for me as the therapist, what I notice is that when people are in fear, they they're stopping their growth, and when we walk through our fear, it's the most powerful thing we can do for ourselves, and there's tremendous growth in it. And I notice that when we stop our fears, even like we're fearful of the weather, we there's something about being in practice of trusting that everything's going to work out perfectly in divine order, and what's interesting, I mean, so I'm going down this thing, but when people are fearful, it's like they're afraid of death, and what we have to do is get comfortable with death, like that we could die anytime. Because when we're fearful of death, we're not living in the present moment. We're living in fear, and there's so much we can learn and grow from if we know we can die any minute, and like it's about accepting right where we are, and accepting the fear and saying, oh, isn't this interesting, and learning from it, because there's great learning potential in it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right about that. People get, I think, well, one, that's the biggest fear there is, the fear of death, right? What if there's really no death? It's like, I believe there is no death. Yeah, there's a termination of the body temple. There is an expiration on that, but I believe we go on. We're just transmuted into something else, because you can't destroy energy, and we're pure energy. And if we're pure energy and you can't destroy energy, well, heck, we must keep on going. And I know that and in my own life, those who have crossed over, right, I'm able to communicate with them and know it's them, and they can communicate with me, and I know it's them. So it's a mindset, right? So are we afraid of losing our body temple? Are we afraid of, what are we actually afraid of? And so we go back to the ego, right? It's the ego that has dreamt up this. I'm back in Course in Miracles, right? It's the ego that has dreamt up this whole idea of death. And people caught on to it. In fact, people have capitalized on it. Religions use it. I mean, they bank on it. They make money from it, right? So it's having the conversations about death is so powerful. Here in this community, we started something called a death cafe. And at first, people wanted to really come and talk about death, and it was wonderful. There was a lot of great conversations, but as we go along, people decide they don't want to talk about that. They just want to push that away, which is so funny, because it's the one thing we'll all participate in. It's inevitable. When I think I've shared on this podcast that we had to put one of our beloved pets down. And her name was Sage, and she was this massive Doberman pinscher. And she was my buddy. And more important, she was my granddaughter's uh, truly her first love connection, besides her family, right? But this dog and her had been together since she was born. In fact, I brought the little blanket, or no, it was the hat that she had been wearing after she was born, and I brought it to the dogs so that they could smell her scent before she came home. And so they knew her smell before she even arrived there. So what's interesting is my granddaughter wants to talk about death. She's not afraid to talk about death. And she just like casually announced, well, you're going to die, Grandma. I go, yep, I sure am. And you too. I said, but not today. Right. So I love that she has this curiosity and the willingness to talk about something that people don't talk about too much. And I'm really pleased that her parents let her uh, uh, wrap her mind around that concept of dying, watching her dog die, right? And walking her through the steps of that. So it's a natural thing that the body temple, it goes away. It goes away for all of us. These are very temporary, but our consciousness is forever. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I was thinking, when people stop talking about it, there's an avoidance in the room. And so I would come back to, why are we afraid to talk about it? What are we not talking about around it?
I think most people, sorry if I stopped you, but I think most people really believe that that's the end. I will be buried in this hole in the ground, or I will be, I don't know, burnt or whatever. And that's the end of me, that's the end of everything. I think that's most people are frightened, but that's my thoughts. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's the end of something, right? It's the end of the body temple. I have too many experiences, and there's too many, maybe I watched too many videos on near-death experiences. I don't know. I've read a lot of books on it when I was in ministerial school. That's something that we really delved into, and exploring that concept of death. Of course, in ministerial school, it's all about how to support those who are left behind, and and how to do ceremonies around the death and the grieving piece. But I think you're right. What I think most is that people are afraid to live. I mean, I'm going to flip this whole thing around. I think people are just flat out afraid to live and live life full out, because that's what I see mostly. I think people have one foot in the grave, and they're not fully present here, right? So like they're already dying. Yeah. So it's like, be fully present in being alive, and being fruitful, and being productive, and being the most outrageous human possible. That's where I think that people are more afraid, is to fully live, because I think that they're not anchored in their authenticity. And people are what I notice is people are pretending to be something they think they should be, and so they're not living full out. So I believe that people are just afraid of being alive.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing, is I think we get old when we act old. Like, We should, you know, the greatest thing we could do is be around children and play with them.
Yep.
You know, because we lose our ability to play.
We do. And that's all about what? Imagination and creativity and making it up and, you know, living in that, you know, one thing that you say to me, you said it several times, Jeannie, is like, I look very young for how old I am. Right. And I know that, but I think that, you know, the secret to it all is to remain curious. And of course, I love hanging out with kids because they're the epitome of curiosity. You know, it's like, I love entering those worlds where everything exists. Everything is possible, you know, and if you tell a child it's not possible, it's like, what's the matter with you? Of course it's possible. Right? I dreamt it up. Of course it's real. So I think that being in that keeps you alive, right?
Absolutely.
Once you stop that, then that's when that aging, collapsing body, yeah, and you can watch it. You can see people. I love people watching, right? And you can see people who have made a decision against life because they're collapsing in on themselves. Not only because I can see their energy all around them and through them. And I realize a lot of people can't see that, right? But you can see the effects of it by the body posture, the humped over, the sadness, the you know, all that energy. So yeah.
I think it goes back to what we started with, was living in fear. You know, we can't play and bring joy to ourselves if we're in fear. And that's why it's so, I think that's why it's so important to work on what you fear and why you fear it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And the only way you can do that is by having conversations about it.
Absolutely.
It's just like that little 5-year-old granddaughter of mine. She has conversations about it. Like she'll talk about death, right? Oh, I remember one time she and I were walking, I think she was like 3, and we saw a dead crow on the road. She says, "Oh, Grandma, that crow went to sleep." I go, "Yeah, it went to its forever sleep. It's forever sleep." And that's where we first started talking about death with her, right? And what that was, and beginning to plant those concepts. So I don't think she has fear at all in her about talking about that, but any fear of, you know, what is that? Marianne Williamson piece that she wrote, you know, I'm going to pull it up because, again, I think that that's just, while I'm pulling that up, you ladies talk for a moment while I get this.
I think I remind everybody while Morganne is doing that, I will remind everybody, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We, for 1 month, are banned from Facebook. I just came try to put live on Facebook and it refuses. So for 1 month till 3rd of July, we won't be on Facebook. So please follow us on YouTube. And then all shows, which one at the moment we're doing in 1 month, I will be putting quickly afterwards on Facebook. But yeah, that's how we are at the moment.
That's how we are. All right. You ready for this beautiful, amazing quote? All right. And just I just invite people to just let this in and see, where are you with this? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, Who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Okay.
Right? So as we do our work, as we conquer every fear that lives within us, we're setting the pathway. We're setting that precedent that people go, oh, I could do that too. I don't need to be afraid of that. It's like we give people the unconscious permission to do it too, right? When we're brave enough to face those fears. And yeah, I think it is our light. It's being alive that we're most afraid of, right? It's that, because I think we've been so indoctrinated in that we are less than, we're not all that in a bag of chips. Well, I'll say, yeah, we are all of that. We are, because we got the divine in us, it's like, yeah.
I time and time again looking up Elizabeth April, what she's doing, and she is doing lots of things, but one of things what she does is remote viewing. And she was telling her experience how Galactic Federation was showing her how look like Earth in night time, how look like Earth, and how look all light workers on Earth. Apparently, all Earth looks like little lights are just like electricity lights, but it looks like this lights what people light workers are transmitting this energy out, yeah, looks like exactly electric lights throughout over all Earth, yeah. All Earth is light up, and we all are in right places for us where we have to be. And even if we don't move from our spot and won't do anything else, only keep positive energy, even then we are one of those spots who is supporting and feeding in this huge, enormous network.
Yeah. I love that imagery.
That Galactic Federation just now make me do it. Thank you.
That reminds me of a quote from Carolyn Mays. She was talking about how people always ask her what should they be. She's a medical intuitive, and people were asking her what they should be doing with their life, and what the calling in is for this life, and she said, we try to make things so big, like we have to do this and we have to do this, and we put so much pressure on ourselves. And she said, what if you were put on this earth just to be nice and kind to others, and that was it? And you're trying to get all this other stuff happening, and you're miserable trying to do it, and you're missing your mission in life. It's just, you know, those things are man-made. If we're going to get there, we usually get there by following our own calling, our own. And if we can't find our calling, we just keep on searching until we do. It'll come to us as we look for it. You know, the universe comes and conspires with us to make it happen, whatever that is. And if we don't know, we just keep on trying things until we find it.
Yep, we do. And just it's about just continue to move forward, continuing to experience life and experience what's around us, right? Because where we, you know, I love that quote, bloom where you're planted, right? It doesn't matter where you are, right? It just be your full self present, the light that you are, the love that you are, the joy that you are. Be that in the presence of wherever you are. It could be in the darkness. It could be like me when I got here during a really bad time, and you know, people were afraid of me, right? Because I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing, you know, and I continued to let my light shine. My internal mandate was love unconditionally. Love them, love them. They're afraid, love them. And I see the fruits of that love in the honoring and the respect that I have here in this community is beautiful because I stayed true to who I am. I didn't, you know. So it's being authentic, being so being authentic is an interesting thing, right? You know, because if we're not authentic, then we're working against our nature. So I love that. What if we're here to just be kind? Boy, what a profound difference we could just make. What if you're here just to be unconditional love? Right? I'm going to love you anyway. Right? What an incredible difference. I wasn't here to create skyscrapers and, you know, things like that. That's although I have some weird dreams about inventing things and maybe that's in my future, I don't know. But I agree with Carolyn Mace on that. What if we're just here to be kind? What if we're here just to be unconditional love? You know, that what a novel concept. Then it goes to really human beingness as opposed to human doingness. And I think that we get caught up in that purpose thing. It's about something we have to do, right? And it takes away from who are we? What's our beingness? We are a human being, not a human doing, a human being. So what are you being? Right? Are you being love? Are you being light? Are you being joy? What are you being? I go, be that.
Yeah.
I happened to just pick up this and I was told to pull a card. So I did. I want to read what I pulled here. It's called Receive Your Worthiness. So I think this is hand in hand with what we're talking about, right? So receive your worthiness. No one is going to descend from the sky with the truth of your worthiness in their hands, but it will be presented to you again and again in the radiant people you meet, in the powerful sway of nature's embrace, in the rush you feel when dancing or creating. You'll also feel it knocking at the door of your awareness when someone denies you reciprocity or cannot meet you in mutuality. Nothing its lack in your life is just is no noticing its lack in your life is just as important as noticing its presence. This moment is about owning your worthiness and doing the work to heal the places where it has been wounded or disparaged. Look up. You are equal to and worthy of every bit of beauty the heavens bestow. And I love that. I mean, it's just really about what we're talking about, that we cannot know it unless we do the work to heal the places where it's been wounded or disparaged. And, you know, and this brings me right back to Course in Miracles, where it says that when we come into our families of origin, Our family of origin is not why we are the way we are. We're the way we are because we arrived fully intact with all our issues, you know, in that particular family structure. There's no mistakes. It's absolutely perfect. And so we, as conscious beings who are not afraid to talk about the darkness, who want to, let's go to the fear, right? Let's go there. Like what happened, right? What did you need then? It's until we do that, we can't see the beauty, because fear will cloud everything. Fear will taint everything. Fear will poison everything. And we can either drink of the cup of fear, or we can drink of the cup of love and life and beauty and joy. Just depends upon which one you want to pick up. And I love this cup. It says Deception Pass. So that's actually a place around here that's called Deception Pass. But I love it because for me, it's like deception, pass, go away. No more deception. I love my cup.
Beautiful. I was wondering, I'd like to show this to anybody who's listening, this book, because when you pick up the Course in Miracles book that Morganne refers to a lot, it's a pretty dense and heavy book. And this is an easier book to read to get you started on the Course in Miracles. And so I want to show it to you so you can be sure to pick it up if you get a chance. It's a wonderful book and you'll get a lot out of it.
Yep, you will. It's a brilliant way of wrangling in the mass amount of data that is in that Course in Miracles, because the original Course in Miracles is an everyday book, 365 days of teachings, and I've done it, and I've done it 1.5 times. But I find working with Michael Mirdad's book on the heart of the Course in Miracles really brings you to the heart of it. But it's about the practice. It's, I taught it for 2 times in a row, the core principles of Course in Miracles. And what's interesting, a lot of people took that course the second time, and both of you were there the second time. It's really different when you do it the second time. It was really different.
It's like a whole new course.
Right? It's like, oh, I'm getting it.
For me, how was Ginny for you? For me, first time was quite a lot of that go like over me. And again, off it go. Like halfway through lesson, I sort of lost it. but second time it was really getting into me, and I start to put together, and I actually waiting for next time, because I know every time it will be different experience.
Right.
How was for you, Ginny? How was for you? Experience?
Oh, it was everything, it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was like seeing it for the first time and just like being on a train, just passing it by. And then the second time was like stopping and really looking and going, oh, that's there. I didn't see these things before. And it changed my life in a way that, like the first time did, but the second time even deeper. And so I think each time we do it, we get a little deeper into life.
Right. Someone had said to me about, well, why don't you teach something different? And I go, no, we haven't ascended yet.
Right.
We still need this, right? We're still establishing our core. Our core, we're establishing that. And when we understand these principles, and we allow them to integrate into our life, then, you know, we go deeper. We begin to understand what that fear is that's dragging us around and affecting every area of our life, right? And I think too that as we continue on that path, we become more loving and more compassionate towards ourselves, right? And working with the practice of forgiveness. What a, like, the most right? It's like that forgiveness piece is so powerful. So powerful.
It's so interesting when we talk about forgiveness, because, you know, we can have a grudge towards somebody or be mad at somebody, and we don't realize the damage it does to ourselves. It keeps us from really living fully.
Yep.
It stops us. It puts a lid on us.
And not only that, it's punishing us. We're punishing ourselves over and over and over again.
Right. And so when we can forgive, it's like we just let go and we have more freedom.
Yeah, we get energy back that has been dissipated, right? There's a lot of energy that's wasted by holding on to stuff. Just a lot of, I mean, that's like a contracted state, right? When we hold on, but when we're able to let it go, that's an expansive state.
Right. And so when you think about this deeper, if we're angry at somebody and we can't forgive them, that's like the root of picking up all the anger from the outside world. So it's easier for us to get on the bandwagon of anger because of our original anger. Mm-hmm. And so it's really important to release that, so we're not caught up in other people's anger or negativity. We can be free from that.
Yeah.
But again, it has to start with us. We have to release our own stuff.
Yep. And then we can give people unconscious permission to do the same, right? When we do that, here in the community, we started something called nonviolent communication, NVC practices, right? And powerful work where you begin to understand what the conversations you are having with yourself and with others, right? It's really profound work, and gratefully that is still going on today. In fact, Saturday we'll have another, what we call practice sessions, where we begin to learn about how to be compassionate with ourselves and with others. So that's a topic for next week. And what a beautiful subject to embrace. And in NVC practices, it's fascinating to watch the dance of our egos, right? Wanting to be right, wanting to hang on to the anger or the fear or whatever it is, the mistrust.
Right. We feel justified in that anger.
Yeah, we do. We feel justified in it. And that's the part you got to let go of. Right. The justification. You got to let that go. And that's where I absolutely love the crucifixion prayer that we practice, is because that prayer not only releases that energy of the whatever, the fear, the anger, but the other part is releasing the need to have the fear, the anger. That's that justification. Letting go of the need to do it. Right. And the need to be right is just like this part of the human construct that is just so skewed, so messed up, that need to be right. And then you can see people become righteous.
Right. And I think that comes from our school system, where we have to be right and we get praised for it. And instead of, instead of any question or any answer, be curious about it and discover, more about it. But the need to be right is ingrained in us. Like we're smart. Like we get kudos for being right, and we carry that through, and it dummies us down in a way because we're not.
It totally dummies you down because there's not room for truth. There's not room for another idea. It's like, no, we're locked. This is it.
Right.
This is it. This is all, right? And so that's again that contracted state. And in the contracted state is where you can watch people, you can look at their faces and see they're in a contracted state. So, but when you are in an expansive state, that place where I call what else is possible. Right. Well, what else is possible here, right? I could be wrong.
Right.
What? I could be wrong?
Right. And when we make ourselves right, we make other people wrong. So there's judgment that's coming in on that. And it's like, what if we're open and we can both be right? It's just, it's where we are, in the moment. And, we can both be right, just different.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many different opinions and ways you got to that opinion, right? We don't know what someone's track was to get to that opinion. Absolutely. Right. And so sometimes when they've had a particularly tough track to get to that opinion, that's when they become very righteous about that opinion because they worked on it, they earned it, right? And then yet they have to let that go because that's just ego. That's just ego that says, ha ha, look what I did. Ha ha, I'm right. Ha ha. It's like, and we can get pumped up for a while on that aha, but it's a killer. It's a spirit killer. To one, nobody wants to be around you because you're right, and no other thing is available. No opinion. No, Good topic. Good topic.
I think, Morganne, we are to that point when we can do meditation.
She wants a meditation. I know.
That's our trademark, and so many people who I guide to our channel, I always say we have on end of every show, we have very great meditation, and so many people really like our meditation.
Well, we can certainly do that. We'll see what Source has up its sleeve for us today. So let's just begin by, first of all, get anchored in your own body. And we can so easily do that by just taking a breath. So I invite everyone to take a big, beautiful, cleansing breath, bring it in. And on the out breath, just let go of any stress. Just let it go. And check in with your body. How's your body feeling? And take another deep breath in. And on that out breath again, just let go of any stress that's in the body, any disbelief, any of that. Just let it go. And just allow yourself to come really present with your breath. And just being anchored in your body. What does it feel like just to be present in your body? And I'm going to ask this question: who is observing you being anchored in your body? Who is witnessing you breathing? Who is it that is hearing my voice? Just stay anchored in your body. Continue to breathe. And move your attention to your heart. And take some beautiful, gentle breaths into the heart to bring awareness to that whole area. And as you breathe into your heart, allow the concept of I am to be present. Breath in, I am. Breath out, I am. Continue focusing on your heart. Focusing on the I am presence. I am. And as you focus on that I am presence, allow yourself to contemplate who you are, your beingness. Who are you? Who do you pretend to be? And bring your awareness back to your heart. I am. Establish within your beingness who you are. Are you angry? Are you right? Are you mad? Are you sick? Are you, what are you? What do you hang your I am on? Take a breath in, stay in your heart. Now contemplate your I amness as love. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. Come back to your heart. Within your heart can discern the correct I am. Who are you being? I am life. I am love. I am peace. I am the living light. Move back to your heart. Stay in your heart. I am. Take a breath in. Expand that I amness state. Choose who you will be. Who are you? Stay in your heart. Release and let go any of those lower frequencies of righteousness and anger, discord, and move into that I am place, your beingness. I am human being love. I am human being light. I am human being joy. Move into your beingness. And now, from this heart space of beingness, imagine your world, how it may look, how your relationships can be, as you continue to just practice your beingness, being love, being light, being joy. Imagine how you are in all your relationships, in your world, in your work. Not what you do, but who are you? Be peace. Be peace in the storm. Be joy in the storm. Be peace in the relationships. Be joy in the relationships. Beingness is that which we can cultivate right here. Not our doingness, but our beingness. And from our beingness, allow that beingness to dictate our doingness. So we do things with love and with joy. Not out of obligation, but out of love, out of joy, out of peace. Bring your awareness back to your heart. I am. I am. Take a breath in, expand that awareness some more. I am. I am being love. I am being joy. I bring joy. I bring that frequency. And invite everyone to just practice this simple practice of moving into your heart, bringing breath to your heart space, acknowledging the I am presence right there within you, choosing to be a higher frequency of being, choosing love, choosing peace, choosing joy. Bring your awareness back to your heart as we together give thanks for this beautiful conversation that happened this day. That we can, in any moment, fix anything that is occurring in our life with love, with joy, with peace, with goodness, with kindness, with compassion. I am. I am. So you choose your beingness and how you show up in the world as your I am. I am love. I am light. I am goodness. I am compassion. I am the living presence of love and light in my world. And I invite you to join me. Take a breath in. And so it is. All right, beauties, come back.
Here we are. Here we are. Here we are.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Here I am.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Jeannie, is there anything you want to say?
No, thank you for this conversation.
I'm so happy that now we both have to really say something after Morganne, because usually I'm always on this spotlight when I can't, after meditation, speak, but I have to say something. Now at least we both in this moment. Oh, thank you everybody who is watching now. Thank you who will be watching later. Please remember, like, share, subscribe for my YouTube video channel. Please look at YouTube, because at the moment for 1 month Facebook won't be responding. So see you in a week. Hopefully, if everything goes right, we in a week will be here again. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless.